Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is Amatazar from the Chicago camp, coming back at you again with another lesson entitled The Truth of Who is Your Neighbor. So if you look at my thumbnail, all right, you can see the brother Arrows of Indignation 144 put up another fire video clip for all of our edification. Okay. If you have not subscribed, like and subscribe and be edified. He's constantly bringing out video clips that all of us use to edify the body. Okay. So in this thumbnail, you have a Jake, okay, a Northern Kingdom Jake who is neighbors, all right, with Esau. And Esau ended up calling the police on him, and his family was deported. All right, so go to this channel, okay, Arrows of Indignation, and you can listen to that, video or watch that video. I guess they called in on a talk show, okay, a radio show, and the Latino Jake, the Northern Kingdom Jake, was so upset because he thought that this man was his friend. And that's what this lesson is about. We're going to get into it. All right. So first off, Jack Nicholson said, you can't handle the truth. Okay. And those who the Spirit quickens is going to be able to understand, okay, this truth. All right. If you haven't been blinded by the God of this world, all right, that Christianity that makes you believe that Esau is your neighbor, okay, and all mankind is your neighbor, all right, then you won't be able to handle this truth. You won't be able to receive this truth. This is John 14:16. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. All right. Now, if the Holy Spirit doesn't quicken you and allow you to understand this truth, you have to understand that you have enemies. Okay? Christianity tries to tell you that you don't have enemies. Christianity have you believing that your enemies are your neighbors. Okay? So here's the question. Did his neighbor get his family deported, or was it his enemy? Okay? This is Matthew 43 through 48. Okay? And this is Yahushua talking. It says, ye have heard that it have been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies and bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? But be ye therefore perfect, Salakia, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Okay? All right. So in Christianity, this passage is read and also misapplied. Okay? Because this right here is speaking of the same people group. All right? So Yahweh Shai was explaining that even those in your people group, okay, who use you despitefully, who act like an enemy to you, they're still your brother. Okay? The Lord is our Father. He's not everybody's Father. This is Psalms 147:19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. Amos 3:1. Hear this word that the Lord Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Okay? So the Lord's word and his judgments were only given to Israel. All right, and it's reinforced in Amos 3:1 and 2. It says, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Okay? So the Lord don't know anyone else. All right. So when Yahweh Shai was speaking in Matthew, the 5th chapter, he's talking to the nation of Israel. This is Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord Yahweh. You see, in Leviticus, the 19th chapter, the people, the brethren, all right, and the neighbor are the same people. Okay? The children of thy people are your neighbor. This is Sirach 28:2. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he have done unto thee. So shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. One man beareth hatred against another, and doth he seek pardon from the Lord? He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doth he ask forgiveness of his own sins? If he that is but flesh nourish hatred, who will entreat for pardon for his sins? Remember thy end, and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death, and abide in the commandments. Remember the commandments, and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest, and wink at ignorance. Okay? So we just read what the commandment said about your neighbor. Okay? Your neighbor is the children of thy people. This is 1 John 4:20. If a man say, I love the Most High, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love the Most High whom he hath not seen? And this commandment have we from him, that we who loveth the Most High, that he who loveth the Most High love his brother also. All right, so this is what Yahweh Shai was speaking of in Matthew, the 5th chapter, okay, up here, okay? He's talking about Israelites. This is Sirach 27:16. It says, Whoso discovers secrets loseth his credit, and shall never find friend to his mind. Love thy friend and be faithful unto him, but if thou betrayeth his secrets, follow no more after him. For as a man have destroyed his enemy, so hast thou lost the love of thy neighbor. As one that letteth a bird go out of his hand, so hast thou let thy neighbor go, and shall not get him again. Follow after him no more, for he is too far gone. He is as a roe escaped out of the snare. As for a wound, it may be bound up, and after reviling there may be reconcilement. But he that betrayeth secrets is without hope. Okay? So here in this passage, Sirach 27:16, it talks about telling people secrets. Okay? Now, if he's talking about the same people, okay, thy neighbor, the actual children of thy people, you offend your brother like that, okay, it's letting you know, hey, he gone. He's gone from you. All right, you heard the man in the video. I will never trust you. Wait, brother, you weren't never supposed to trust him in the first place. All right, but he didn't know this truth. Okay, he hasn't been quickened to understand. All right, but now you know. This is Sirach 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he have left one behind him that is like himself. While he liveth, or while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. All right. So the enemy hates. Okay. It says he that teaches his son grieveth the enemy. All right. See, the enemy got you right where he wants you if you're believing that he's your neighbor and that he's your friend. Because he's got to have you believe in the lie in order to take advantage of you or to keep taking advantage of you. But when you know who your enemy is and you teach your son who your enemy is, you're not going to fall for his games and for his tricks. Okay? You're going to be in opposition to him. All right? This is Sirach 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw you into a pit. All right? He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Hey, listen, I could tell you from firsthand experience, all right, working with these Edomites. I had an Edomite some years ago. Both of us were up for a supervisory position, and the the hiring manager happened to be a black woman. So she chose this young black kid, okay, who had never set foot in our location. All right, never set foot in the location, but he was brought on to supervise that location. All right, so me and this Edomite, all right, we have been in this location for damn near 15 years, okay, keeping it running. All right. But a manager has the right to bring on their own team. And that's what you have to understand in business. Okay. So now I never looked at this young brother, okay, as it was his fault that he was chosen. He's just trying to better himself. All right. And me and him are still friends to this day. Okay. We still cool to this day. But the Edomite that in question, all right, he tried to sow dissension between us. Okay, he lied on me and put words in my mouth when he didn't do his job. All right, he didn't do his job. All right, and he tried to. He told me he was going to tell the big boss, that this guy was coming down on us. And then what ended up happening is he was wrong, and I told him he was wrong. He goes back to this foreman and told him that I was the one going to turn him in to the big boss. When in fact, I was the one telling him that he was wrong. So we talked about it and found out exactly the personality of these Edomites. Okay. Now me and the brother, we cool. We still cool ever since. All right. But you got to watch these people. Okay. All right. In closing, Sirach 27 and 29. They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anguish shall consume them before they die. Okay? That's pain. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man shall have them both. Okay? All right, so Jake is the righteous. Okay, ultimately Jake is the righteous. All right, and so when you have these heathen, all right, conspiring against you, all right, for you to fall, at your downfall, all right, the Lord gonna pay them back speedily. All right, so this has been the truth of who is your neighbor. I pray that this lesson was edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.